Hello, everyone. Very nice to meet you today. Today, I'm going to talk about request to pay because it will be definitely a game changer in payments. Customers are already asking for this service. A recent study by the European Banking Association shows that 95% of corporates see opportunities in the integration of e-invoicing and request to pay. Using request to pay, corporates can save up to 95% of costs compared to paper-based invoice management processes. Still, the adoption of the service is low because the corporate customer onboarding requires integrations. But those banks who can capture and work with this opportunity can take a significant share of the payment market, and those who don't will fall behind in the payment race. The good news is that we are the ones who can make this happen to you. We will show you how. With our customizable white label technology, banks can onboard their corporate customers easily into the service, as we can eliminate the integration efforts thanks to the use of invoice data. Let us see our application first. This is what the corporate customer can see. This is the white label, customizable white label user interface that can be tailored to the bank's branding and the product definition. You can see that we have created already invoices, and we generated payment requests from these invoices. Now, we are going to issue a new invoice from the corporate billing system via APIs. And when we are issuing the invoice, a payment request will be simultaneously generated from the invoice data, and this is where the magic happens, because we are using the invoice data that the corporate system generates for the integration. The corporate doesn't have to implement a new interface to the bank. Now you can see the Raiffeisen online banking application. When the money arrives, you will see it there. Unfortunately, we are not able to show you the whole process. The whole process is going live through the Hungarian banks and banking systems, and we didn't get full approval to show all the banking interfaces. But what happens is that we generated the invoice, we generated the payment request from the invoice, and send it to Raiffeisen Bank's Request to Pay API, which will send it to the local instant payment scheme, which is then forwards the request to the receiver bank. My colleague is approving the payment request from my personal account, and we can see that the payment request is approved, and the money will arrive in just 5 seconds to the Raiffeisen Bank Hungary account. Does it happen? Okay, so if this happens, and we are going back later to the corporate view, you will be able to see that the change of the request to pay status, so yes, the money has already arrived. You can see, going back to the corporate's view, that the status of the payment request has changed to done. This also means that the reconciliation of the invoice and the payment is done automatically. This will save weeks of work for corporate customers on accounts payable processes. There will be no more calls and lengthy correspondence about unmatching invoices and payments. So let me summarize what just happened. We issued an invoice, a payment request was sent, approved, and the invoice and the payment transaction was reconciled. This will replace weeks of work for corporate customers on accounts payable management processes. And this will change the whole workflow. You could see how easy this was. Just imagine how happy your corporate customers will be. They already want this service, You just need to provide it to them, because e-invoicing and request to pay together is really a game changer in payments. And the reason we are talking about this now is that because request to pay service is already supported by various instant payment schemes around the world, besides the several US payment networks and the SEPA instant payment scheme. Invoice data will also be available that can be used for integration purposes, because e-invoicing regulations are already in place or approaching worldwide. Just a couple of examples. India and Italy have already e-invoicing mandates in place. Romania will introduce certain sectors invoicing this year. Poland will introduce it next year. And France will introduce it from 2024. So this change is happening. It is happening with you or without you. It's up to you whether you are driving the change or be left behind. What you should remember and take home from our demo: we can help you to bring to market a game-changer service in the shortest possible time and speed up the market transition of the customer adoption of the service. If you would like to know more, please reach out to us at our booth. And if you have any doubts whether any of this was real, we can show you in private that all of this was real. And thank you very much for your attention.